How are we going, everyone? I'm black gritting my fruit trees, my orchard. Yep, I'm using a shovel, and I put about a shovel's worth, about 2 meters approximately, 2 linear meters by half a meter wide, which is a fair amount. Now, you can see that I've got a lot of grass and weeds growing underneath these trees in the rows there. I don't spray, I don't use a herbicide, even slasher, I don't bother with it. Here, I actually just brush cut this back down to the ground, expose as much of the mulch underneath. So if I backtrack a couple of years ago, I trenched this area, about 500 deep. I put manure in there, I put compost, I put black grit into there, I put some mulch as well, straw, and I rotary hoed it all through. Then I planted my trees, and then I put mushroom compost, black grit, and mulch on top again. So it's inevitably full of organic matter, and these trees are doing mighty fine. You can see that, nice and strong and healthy, even though with the grass underneath it. Now remember, fruit trees, the root system of a fruit tree doesn't just grow in this little space here. They do spread out everywhere. So I'm feeding this row here so I can sort of promote growth in this direction, but I will be feeding outwards as well. And what I mean by that is widening these garden beds or these rows so that they get a feed and compost all the way to here. So the weeds is going to be a losing battle, and I know you've seen lots of other orchards around, or you watch online and TV and things like that, and you see these wonderful manicured orchards. Well, they're not done without any use of herbicide, so they need to spray them. I choose not to, and that's hence why my trees have got a bit of growth underneath them, but I complement them with extra feeding. Now, I'm putting black grit now. It's June. By the time you think about doing it, if you haven't got yours, get yours in time so you can start applying it from July onwards. And what I'm going to do afterwards as well, after I brush coat, is I'm going to apply some superfood and compost and then top dress again with mulch. So you're going to watch me do that in the coming weeks. But for now, I'm applying the black grit. It's a shovel's worth per tree approximately, or 2 square meters if you like, which is a fair amount. It's almost half a kilo, if not a bit more. And that's okay. These trees are about 2.5 years old, going on to their 3rd year now, spring season that is. And I expect to get an abundance of flowers and fruits. So black grit your plants because you get the calcium, magnesium, phosphate, silicate that will enhance the uptake of other nutrients that are available but otherwise locked up because there's too much nitrogen in the soil. So black grit is the secret to unlocking all the vital, wonderful vitamins and nutrients that your plants can take up. Apply it in all parts of your garden bed and your fruit trees especially. Now look, if you've got some trees that have leaves still on them, they haven't got completely dormant, be patient a little bit with those. Don't feed them now because you'll actually shock them back into growing again. So wait for them another couple of weeks or month. So mid-July you can start feeding those August. But if you've got dormant trees completely, look, there's 1 or 2 leaves here, they're going to fall. Give them the black grit now. In a couple of weeks, come back, 2 to 3 weeks, put your superfood down and compost on top. Guarantee you're going to get an abundance of flowers and fruit coming springtime. So this is how I do it. Big shovel's worth, shake off the excess and come for a walk. And just a gentle sprinkle like that. Now this will work its way down, folks. It's non-soluble, which means you can rain on it, nothing will happen other than it sinking its way down to the root zone where it needs it the most. And that's what we're doing here, feeding this. I'm going to leave this one because there's too much grass there, and work our way through. So if you've got mulch and that in your garden bed, you can apply it on top. It's quite safe. It will sink down because it's quite dense, quite heavy per gram or particle. So its weight versus volume ratio is quite high. That will work down and do its job. And once it contacts all the nutrients down below, it unlocks them, and your plants will show you a huge difference in growth rate. So if you're looking for some black grit, folks, get some now from our website, vasilisgarden.com, or Lethbridge and Coburg's site. Apply it to your garden and unlock the wonderful magic that exists in the soil below. And our seeds are still on special, folks. Take advantage of those. We've got plenty of seeds still available for you to get a very discounted rate so you can start collecting your own seed bank and growing your own wonderful produce from your own backyard. From me, Vasili Maresi, that's vasilisgarden.com.